Welcome to Off-Grid Rising. We're finally finishing the solar ground mount. One of the things that we had to do to get to this point was measure and cut all of the pipe. Again, this is 1.5-inch galvanized pipe that we're putting in the ground, and we involve our daughter Clara every step of the way. After digging our 6 holes, we had to set this pipe in the ground, and we started with the back row of the ground mount system. We made sure that everything was level and plumb, and then we poured the concrete in our cement mixer skid steer attachment and set it in the ground. And at that point, we're pretty much locked in. You have to use a combination of the skid steer attachment and the wheelbarrow simply because of our forms. We want to make sure we don't bump anything. Clara's got the important job of mixing it up.
Let's make a video of this.
Way ahead of you, kiddo.
Mama is making a video.
Why is this musty?
It's concrete.
Arguably, the most important part is leaving our mark in the concrete when we're done. So we did handprints and the date and also our initials. Here you can see the finished product, which is about 5 feet off the ground at the shortest point and about 9 feet off the ground at the highest point. All right, today we're going to pour the concrete and set the pipe for the lower half of the ground mount for the solar array. So we set up our forms again because this is going to be so much lower. There's an elevation difference of 3 feet between that top pole and what will be this bottom pole. Our forms kind of reflect that. We have shorties up here and longer ones down there. It's just what we have. The important part of setting these forms, though, is that we wanted to maintain a clear line of sight from corner to corner. And we did that on both corners. There's a clear line of sight to the hole. And that's so that we can measure square. So we have to square these up again, make sure everything's going to be copacetic, and then we will pour the concrete. We employed our handy-dandy string level again in this process, making sure that we were 8 feet apart from the top pole array to the bottom pole. Our first attempt featured that roll of string, which we have had for a while. String deteriorates, so when we tried to pull it tight, it snapped off. So we graduated to newer string, this orange stuff here, and we want to make sure that it's level because we're going to set up our support for the form. The cross piece that's on there right now is just a reinforcement for the bracing. So William's about to put on the actual cross piece that'll support the pipe. And we know we have it at the proper elevation. We're not worried about measuring for underneath. No, bottom of pipe to bottom of pipe. So that's got to support. It's a good thing we have 2 people. All right, 2 agonizing hours later, we have this set square and level and plumb and all of that. So some tricks that we did, we measured to get square. I think you saw we had the string level set up, and that made sure that this pipe is level, and also in relation to that top pipe. When we measured our square, we went from this top corner to that bottom corner, and then from that top corner to this bottom corner. We got those to be the same, and that required us to pick up and slide the entire apparatus. But we also had to make sure that this is 8 feet apart. So at 8 feet apart, and these corners the same distance, we discovered we had to slide the whole thing. So in order to not screw up our our pivot, we screwed in some stabilizers on each of our braces, and that allowed us to make sure that we weren't going to lose the 8-foot reference necessarily. And then we measured everything about 6 times just to make sure that we had everything right. So everything should be right. William's about to go down and pick up the cement. We discovered yesterday that our wheelbarrow has a flat tire, so he's also going to go air that up with the compressor that's down at the flat. He's going to come up and we are going to pour this concrete. And then we will be ready for solar panels. We're going to put our solar shed there where the skid steer is. So we'll trench across to there, and then we'll trench to the house. I'm not showing you much of the house right now. You might be able to see a little peekaboo view of it in the right-hand corner, but I'll do more videos that show you how we got to where we're at. And we'll see you soon. And there you have it, the finished product. Once the concrete cures, we'll remove the forms and then we'll be ready for solar panels. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.